Hi everyone and welcome back to Orange Blossom on City Skylines 2. Last time out we built this cargo train terminal here and this whole industrial area, and we also put along the bottom of the railway line here this unique custom built storage facility for the industrial area, and I think that looks pretty cool. It fits in nicely. I like the fact that it runs or backs up to the train line here. We did have to connect this cargo train terminal to make sure it works, and we've had trains going in, so that is running smoothly, which is great. In addition to that, we built this medium / low housing area here. We filled and satisfied a lot of our low density demand for housing, which is great, and hopefully that's going to provide lots of jobs to our industrial area. And also, like we tried to tackle last time, we're trying to get this layering effect where we're going to have all our big buildings in our main city here, all our skyscrapers, and that's going to layer down to our low density coming out here. We've got lots of cool little things planned. Maybe not today, but we're going to have like maybe a educational area here, maybe some medium density communities over this way. But today we are going to go in and get all our office areas filled out. We're going to do a quick little cheat to get us up to level 10. We're then going to get it all detailed up after that. I think the main thing I'm going to do is get in all the housing and the zoning first. We can always delete it, take it back, put in our vegetation, and do all of that after, and hopefully get a really nice effect that fits in with the rest of our city, the rest of our build so far. Because what I don't want is just loads of tall buildings. It looks grey, it looks bland. That's not exciting for anyone to look at. We want to have a little bit of character, like we've done here. Lots of trees, lots of vegetation, a cool, nice look to it. I think it does have a little bit of character, a little bit of our own unique element on it. You know, I'm always worried about getting the buildings in. It's got to be perfect first time. Can't change anything after I've done it. But I think if I just get it in, get it built, we can then make changes. I think that's a much better way to do it and not be scared to make mistakes. So what we are going to do first of all is see how here we're nearly at level 10. We've got 4,000 to do. What I will go in and do is grab, if I can find it, one of these buildings, and I believe if I put one of these in, that gives us 2,000, that gives us 6,000 XP, that gives us 7,000 XP. Let's try and find one that's, how much did I say we needed? 4,000 XP. So if I build this, it's 3 million, but if I build it, there we go, we've unlocked the small city. So that should allow us to put in our high density office buildings now. We could just go in and just delete that. I don't know how much money we're going to get back. Let's see. Oh, we got a chunk of it back. Made our residents unhappy, but they didn't have it for very long. They won't even know. They'll forget about it in the day, so don't worry. So yeah, now time to go in. We're going to zone up the rest of these areas here. Maybe have some of our bigger skyscrapers in the middle, smaller buildings coming out. We might mix in some medium row density in the middle and see what it looks like. So let's get all that zoned in now, and we'll see what fills up and what it looks like at the end. So let's do it. that's our city really taking shape, and hopefully you can see that I've got the bulk of the skyscrapers in the middle here or along the seafront right there, and it should layer down from our medium density into our medium density row housing, with a few little different layers going on there. A few little gaps that you do see like here and here, there's a couple of little pockets as we go along. They are supposed to be high density housing, and hopefully as we get more demand for that, they'll start to build and the city will start to fill out. I've left some other little gaps as well there where we can put paths, trees. I will be taking down some of these buildings. Like, I'm not sure about this little area here. I don't know if this looks too stacked, especially if we're going to go into maybe medium or row density housing here. I don't know if that's just too much of a difference. So might take a few of those out, put some little green areas in, just to make it look a little bit greener and have a little bit more texture to our main city. This big area here though, this area I would like to get in our hospital. I think with a city this size, we do need a big hospital. So we're going to find a space, maybe in the middle. Let's put that in there. How do we think that looks? That looks pretty cool. That is very bright. That is it's going to be a standout feature of the city. And what I might do from here now is put in a one-way, I can get a one-way road all the way along here. If I put it this side, going across there. How do we feel about that? That's not too bad. It has its own parking, so I don't need to touch the parking too much. But hopefully having that one way will provide a nice smooth system going through this hospital area. I don't know what I'm going to do around the back of the hospital yet. I don't know if I put some medium density in there and make it look a little bit more built up. Is there a way I can attach some medium density buildings to this to make it look like a place where the doctors or residents of the hospital might stay? I don't know. I'm not sure. So what I've decided to do here around a hospital is put a park area in all the way around the side. And I thought this was a great opportunity to put in our 4x12 park that we've got here. So I'm going to put one this side, and then I can get it to snap to this road. I'm going to put one that side as well. And what the plan is, I'm going to have a look. Hopefully, see, that looks pretty cool. That fits snug to there. If I can grab our move it tool here and bring this along, I'm going to try and snap this. I'm going to connect that path up to the road there, and then try and snap on the outside and get that. If we unclick now, we need to move it a little bit to the left, just so we've not got that gap in between there. So it's a nice snug fit. How does that look? Nice, all the paths are connected up. And then what I'll do to finish this off, we might have to put some, or a little bit more detailing in a minute in terms of like trees and benches. Hoping I can just snap that to there and that to there. Does that line up, or was there a little bit of a gap there? Oh, I hate that it leaves a little gap. That's quite snug. I'm gonna leave it. Let's see if we can grab our path here, connect that up to there, that up to there. See, that looks decent. And what about this side? Rinse and repeat here. That looks pretty cool. I like that because that looks like all one path now. That is brilliant. I might see if I can wiggle this bit. Grab another node here. See if I can connect this up there. We'll drag one down. Don't think that's quite 90 degrees. Let's go for about there. We'll grab another one about here. Try and get the same thickness on both. and then grab another node, drag it to there. How's that look? That looks like we've got one path in the middle. That is really, really good. I like how that is looking. Is it me or are those different shades of green? I think they are. Can we drag this down to here? Yeah, that's so much better. So much better. And I'm trying to have a look now. Is this the same type of grass as that? Because what I might be able to do is I might actually just leave that. That does look pretty good how it is. I don't fancy changing that. What I would like to do is get this in a little bit closer. I think that's as close as we can get it. We're going to have to leave it. Is it me or are those different shades? I thought they might be the same. Let's leave it as it is. It's hard to tell, but it does look really, really cool. I'm going to grab these bits of grass here and drag them out just to complete this. Nice. It'll almost feel like a nice little green area to our city too. Not sure why there's a gap there. It's all the same grass, but we'll go with it. Nice. That looks pretty cool. I like how that's starting to look hard to see with some of the shadows, but it does look good. I'm going to go in, decorate this up, use some of our spruce trees. Hopefully that's going to look like the finished article when we are done. There you go. So that's our hospital detailed up there. I really do like how that park looks. I put some spruce trees in there, a little bit of decorations in the middle. I've done a lot the same along this little gap that we had here with a line of spruce trees. Put some green grass on there, and yeah, it looks really, really good. I think that's going to fit nicely into our city. And the great thing is all this medium density here that we're going to have built up in a second, that's all going to have access to the hospital as well. So as our population grows, they're all going to have access to this huge hospital, which can take 500 patients. So it's a win-win, really. Really does look good. I might keep it how it is at the moment. I don't know if I'm going to put these upgrades in. Oh, I could do a helipad. That would be cool. What about this one? This gives us specialized treatment ward. Does that take away our car park? Because I would like to keep our car park. Nope, let's put that in. That looks good. I'm not sure why I didn't put our hospital in helipad in there, but that's done. And then we've got a trauma center. Where does that put this? Don't think it does anything. I think it just adds it. So why not do that as well? Nice, cool. Didn't remove our car park. I think that's important. We've got a car park there. Otherwise, I would feel like I need to hand design one myself. Oh, it looks like our sewer's been backed up here, so I'm going to need to go and add another sewer in as well. Otherwise, that's going to continue to give us more issues. So as you can see, this is the main issue here, that we're just not getting rid of or processing enough of this waste, this sewage. So we're going to go in, even with the upgrades, we're just going to delete that straight out. And I think this could be a great opportunity. And we could even put it in our new industrial area here, but add in, I'll bring up the water, add in our water treatment or waste treatment plant here. If we put this about here, I might even rotate it around. So I'm going to quickly put another alleyway in here, flip the building round, put it along this road here, about there, and then I'll put a car park on the other side. So let's see, I might just use here one of the vanilla car parks. So let's bring that up quickly. What size do we want? Medium is the one without the fence. Let's go for a large car park. I'm going to have that running out there, smack bang in the middle, opposite our wastewater treatment plant. That looks pretty cool. I might try and smooth some of these edges out here because it's looking a bit raggedy. Is that where it starts to go upwards? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. I might let's try and smooth it out and we'll see how it looks. I was thinking we might just leave it like that for a bit of a authentic look. If we get our soften terrain tool and drag this over, that hasn't helped a lot. What we will do though, if I do this and then grab our soften terrain tool, there we go. That looks visually so much better. Nice. That does look much better. We will go in here though and just extend out our industrial area and put a few more buildings in. So we've got in our wastewater treatment plant, and you can see that that gives us sewage treatment of 404,000 a month. So that easily surpasses what we had before. Put our little car park in, some vegetation all around. Yeah, and that looks really good. And I'm hoping that we're going to provide that car park access or parking to all these buildings around here as well. So that's pretty cool. Well, we'll have to go in. I think it sets at $10, which is ridiculous. Let's just make it free. I'm really not bothered. That can be free parking for all the people that work around this area. We don't want to charge them for working in one of our areas. So that's looking great. Let's take a look at our main city, how that's coming together. I think some of our high density demand has filled in now, which is cool. These big buildings here are their office buildings. Which ones would be our residential ones? This one is here. That has 143 residents in. So that's a lot. That's pretty cool. Our population is nearly up to 18,000 now. So we've added nearly 2,000 this episode, which is great. So we're going to go in now, get all our medium density houses filled in. We might sprinkle in there and use some of our new row housing buildings we've got for our schools and our medical clinic as well. So we'll scatter those in. We do have to find a 1x6 space for them. So if we don't have that, we just won't put it in. It might be that I put them along here. Here there's plenty of space. This could be a great opportunity to add that in around our medical clinic and our chapel that we already have. This medical clinic does not have many patients, so it might just be that we need some more schooling along here. I'll take a quick look. Let's see what we've already got. Here we've got an elementary school, which is full. Wow, okay, so we might need some more of those in. And we have along here already, we have a college, which is full. Wow. Okay, we have high schools in here. They've got some space, and then we've got normal schools as well. Let's have a look at our universities. Where did I put them? They're over here. Well, they're both nearly full. So it might be that we have to put some universities in and maybe some more elementary schools, especially if we're going to add some more row housing. I think it's going to be vital that we have that and we provide education so we can upskill all our citizens. So let's go in, let's get this all zoned up, and hopefully it will look brilliant when it's finished. I've zoned up all our medium density. I did literally just go in, grab the paintbrush tool here and just fill all those in. We're going to see how the house is spawned and what roads they're assigned to. For some reason I loaded the game up and my road zoning tool wasn't working. So you can see we've got some going sideways here, which we don't want. The goal is a little bit like we had here, to have them all going the same way so we get that nice clean look. So we're either going to have to rectify this next time, or we can go in, use the pavement path tool and get it assigned that way. Some of these have gone in okay. I do think it was partly because of how I zoned it out when I put the roads in, but we'll see how it looks and then we can go from there. While that's all coming together and filling in, we don't have nearly enough demand to get all that filled in yet, but when that comes in, we can rectify it. Until then, we're going to go in and detail up our main city here. So all these little blocks, we're going to put some trees in, maybe take down some of these really tall buildings and put some vegetation in instead. We're going to have a little play around with it, see how it looks, put some pavement paths in and allow or give people easy access all around the city. Hopefully that should be looking really cool. Have a little bit more character when we've finished. So let's do it. Took a little while, but I've put all my vegetation in. You can see I put the spruce trees in the gap on this dual high street here. I've used my oak trees and the smaller trees, my London plain ones, and the actual smaller trees have been great because I've been able to go in and find a gap. Let's see if I can find one now. Find a gap between two buildings like this. If I want to then put a little tree in there, I can do it. And it looks perfect. It looks really good. And just put, you can see I've just scattered that all across the city, put little trees between all the buildings, around the buildings, and you see it looks so much better. I'm really glad I've taken the time and energy to go away and do that because it looks so much better. I've put little green pockets in as well, like you see here. I've taken one of the big skyscraper buildings out that I didn't like. We had too many of the same. So I just put a little path in and made my own kind of little park where people can go and walk and sit and have their lunch at work during their lunch, during their hour off at lunch. And that looks so much better. So yeah, really happy with that. We're nearly up to 20,000 population, which is great. I had to think about it. And this area, I've got a few schools. They're quite small, but I could do with a big university. So I might put in a university here next time, put some little medium density buildings in, and put little blocks of almost like flats or student houses together and have little pockets of those. We can use our cool little copy and paste tool that I've got here. I'm keen to try that out because that would be really cool and save me a lot of time and energy if I want to replicate a certain style of build that I've done. So that is really cool. We're going to go in now, have a little play around with this, see if we can get all our houses the same size, going in the same direction, and see if we can get it to look a little bit better. I might have to save it, turn the game off and come back to it so I can get my zoning road tool back in. So unfortunately for this section of the recording, I lost all my audio. Slightly annoying, but I'll talk you through everything that we're going to do so you can see my thought process and what I had in mind. So what I decided to do now we've got the zoning tool working is to go in, unzone the areas I don't want any row housing on first, and then once I've done that I'll quickly delete all the houses, and then I will select none on the zoning tool and collect selected roads, and then from there I'll just select the roads that I don't want my zones to be assigned to, and hopefully, like you've seen there, it should assign it to the roads that you want. On this top one here though, unfortunately it didn't work, and if it doesn't work for whatever reason, then I suggest using the old method and grabbing your pathways and building those along the road where you don't want it zoned. If you do it all the way along, like I've done here, that should then reassign it to another road. And then, luckily, the tool worked on that top one, so that saved me a little bit of time. We're going to go in for the rest of this block here, using the same method with the pathways, and then rezoning the areas. What I did do, though, was leave some of the end tiles free, just to ensure that those end rows next to the road I didn't want it on didn't fill up and it didn't start to build sideways, and then I could just fill those in at the end. We're going to go rinse and repeat this method for all the other zones, and hopefully we're going to get a nice row housing district of all the buildings 4x1 facing the same way. So we've got that all zoned up and our row housing aligned to the roads we wanted it aligned to, and you can kind of see how we want it to look and how it's going at the moment. We'll come back to that, but first of all let's go in and get our districts zoned out for this area. What I was thinking here is we'll have a west side and we'll have an east side, and again, if you guys can let me know in the comments what names you think would be fitting for our main city. I think this is probably one of the most important ones. Then yeah, please let me know in the comments below your suggestions, and hopefully we have some good ones and it'll sound good when we say it every time we use it in game. I thought we'd have two districts for these other two areas, one being the low residential area at the bottom, and we'll have all the row housing as a separate area, including our schools and graveyard we've got at the back as well. And I took a look down here because I wanted to see what our traffic situation was like, and it wasn't looking brilliant. And then I went across our main highway here and I just kept going and going. The line was huge and I've never seen a queue so big, and it even went up the next highway as well. So that's a situation we're going to need to resolve in our next episode. And then I come to this junction here and I felt like this was the main cause of the traffic. It wasn't, I mean, we've got all of them coming in because they're new residents all at once. So yes, we're going to have a little bit of a backlog, but with this intersection here, I thought, wow, we've got a lot of cars going left into our small town, but actually none of them were using the bypass underneath. And I took a little look at the roundabout, and we've got cars that are exiting and then going round the roundabout and rejoining the highway again, which was pretty stupid really. I don't know if they didn't like the steepness of our bypass and decided just to go around it. Next, I wanted to go in and name some of our small little villages that we've got at the bottom. I think they're all under 1,000 population, so yeah, they're all villages. I wanted to call this one Blackwood. I went in and tried to rename it, and the game just crashed. I went and tried again, did the same process, typed in, got to probably C, and then, yep, crashed again. So I thought, we'll probably just leave that. Might be a little bug in the game, and we'll come back another episode and try and rename it then. Yeah, then looking at our little small farmland, this building here for some reason was abandoned or demolished or something. So I had to go in, delete that, and rebuild it back up again. And once I'd done that, I saw this lorry was stuck. I thought, oh, that's a little bit weird. Doesn't appear to be stuck on anything. So I tried deleting our forestry area and put it in again, see if the lorry moved, but unfortunately it didn't really help. It was still stuck there. So I decided just to click on it and delete it. I thought, cool, problem sorted. Delete the trailer as well. That should be issue over. But then we had another lorry come out and that got stuck too. So there seems to be an issue here. It seems to be getting caught on something for no reason. So I thought, oh, I know, it's going to be these timber assets that I've placed in. So I've gone and deleted all of those. I thought, oh, surprised that didn't solve it. So I had to then, I thought, oh, it must be the ones at the bottom. That's why it can't turn. It doesn't have that turning angle. And I thought, oh, we'll just try the tractors. They're nowhere near it, but we'll try them. And that final tractor seemed to be the solution. A little bit strange that we're placing assets that far away and they're affecting the traffic. That's a little bit strange. And I mean, look at how they're turning there. Once I'd done that though, we went back in and we had to put all our detailing, our little assets back in again, just to make it look good again, because I spent so much time on this initially that I didn't want all that hard work to go to waste. I thought, put a few assets back in, it will start to look really, really good again. And you'll see here we also lost another building in the same farm, so we had to go and insert that back in, put all the details, all the dirt, all the graffiti back in again. And putting the graffiti in, probably one of my favourite things to do on the game. Adds a lot of colour, adds a lot of character, so that's really, really cool, and it just brings everything to life. With our little educational area here in our main city, you can see I've got these two little areas that are empty, and I thought I want to fill those in. I can't leave them back blank. I hate these green, boring, empty areas. So we're going to go in, turn them into little sports or green areas where people can walk. A little bit like a recreational area. I think you typically get quite a few green areas like that around your schools. And if you look at the finished result, it looks really, really good. We've got a sports area up there with a car park and some extra detailing with bushes and trees at the bottom. So I'm really happy with the final result for that. When we start to put lots of low density buildings around that and expand it out, it's going to look really, really good in the centre of our built up area. And with our row housing district here, for some reason this area wouldn't fit in or wouldn't fill in, so I decided just to put or turn it into a little main park, and it happens to be right in the centre of our row housing district, so quite fitting that we make it a little sports park. And once I got those in, I decided to centralise them with the Move It mod, play around with some of the surface area, and yeah, move some of the assets that we've got, play around with it, put my own little assets in. And once I'd done that, I put a fence around the tennis court because we didn't want balls flying everywhere. They'll just be going in the road. I think it's really unrealistic to have a tennis court like that and then a no fence to catch all the balls. So it was essential I put a little fence around the outside. I don't think I put a gate in. So we'll just use our imagination and say that, yeah, there's a gate on it. And that's what they used to get in. I used the industrial fence and I think that was actually really good. It's quite high, fitting for a tennis court. We then went in and put some vegetation around it just to bring it to life, fill in any of those empty green spaces that we've got, and the end result was really, really cool. And in our main city here, we had this little bit of space where some of our high density didn't fill in for whatever reason, and I thought, this is right in the heart of our city, why not use one of the new mods that we've got? And here we've got our new car park, 2-level car park by Dome. I thought this would be brilliant right in the centre. I could just delete these 2 buildings out and place it in here, and it's right off the main road, so it's going to be easy access for people to come along and park. And yeah, they've got good access to everywhere around the city then. So I'll put it in here, and make sure you've got the left hand drive one selected if you've got left hand on like I have. So luckily I didn't make that mistake. And if you take a look at the building here, it does look pretty cool. You've got all types of parking on the top. You've got the entrance and exit, little one-way system, both going up, going down. And the amount of detail this person's gone into to build this is incredible. And if you don't have it, I strongly recommend you getting this because it is an excellent asset to have in your city. And I did go down and have a look underneath afterwards, and yeah, there's so much detail with vending machines, cash points, all those sorts of things that you can go in and take a close look at. And if you're into detail and you're into those fine things, they make a difference to your city, then yeah, please go and get that on Paradox Mods. Here's our row house district, finally finished with all our row housing 1x4, all facing the same direction, nicely aligned, with our little sports park in the middle. And how pleasing does that look on the eye? I'm really happy with that. I'm really glad I spent probably about 2 hours putting that together for the time it took me to amend it and get it all filled in, and a few little corrections after that. But yeah, let me know in the comments below what you think. It took me a while, so hopefully you like it. And just taking a look at our district here, you can see provides 4,000, nearly 5,000 population. So if we take a look at the west side, you can see that's 5,000 population, and the east side is 4,000. So that little small row housing district has got just as much population as our big city. But if I think about it though, most of our big city are commercial and office buildings, so you can kind of see how that would be more. But yeah, our big city really starting to come together. There are a few issues though that I'm going to need to resolve on the next one. You can see we've got lots of abandoned buildings, and if we take a look at the unhappiness, that is mostly down to the fact that we've got high crime at -15. So that's definitely high on the agenda for the next episode. We can sort out the internet connection after that as well. But yeah, our main city is really starting to look good. I'm really happy I spent the time to develop that. And yeah, and if you did enjoy the journey, did like following today, please smash that subscribe button, and I look forward to seeing you guys in the next one. Take care. Bye.